Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time of the day it is, wherever you're watching this, whatever you're doing. I hope you are having a fantastic time basking in abundance, manifesting, living your life, being in your vortex, whatever you're doing. It's been a while since I have posted a video or a live video, and I apologize for that. I've been super busy, but today I am going with a big topic, and I'm talking about self-love, because when it comes to manifesting and when it comes to deliberately creating your reality, loving yourself is one of the biggest ways that you can really amplify your manifestations. And you'll find that if you don't genuinely or generally love yourself or even really like yourself, trying to manifest certain things can be a lot harder. So when you love yourself, you're happier, you have a higher vibration, you kind of have a light that comes out of you. You're going to expect more for yourself. And these are all very, very good things, very important things when it comes to creating a life that you actually want to live. You also can decide what's best. When you love yourself, when you sit in a place of appreciating yourself, you can decide what's best for you, and you get into this place where when you can decide for yourself what's best for you from a place of love instead of a place of hate or dislike, you decide better things for yourself. When you like yourself, you make better decisions for what you are trying to create for yourself, and what you're thinking about and what you're saying about yourself. Because remember, we attract what we are, not what we want. So remember that the things that we say and the things that we feel about ourselves, the people in our lives are going to reflect that back to us. So the more you like yourself, the more you love yourself, the more people in your life are going to do the same. I saw this happen. Big shift for me, because for a very, very long time, believe it or not, several years ago, for a long time, I did not like myself. I couldn't look in mirrors. I had really, really, really low to non-existent self-esteem, and it was reflected back to me completely. And I take full ownership for that. I take full ownership for the life that I've created for myself and the life that I've shifted for myself. But things didn't start to shift for me until I started to kind of mindfully shift it. And but self-love was one of the biggest components in how I actually started to change my life for the better. Because like I said, when you actually like yourself, when you actually love yourself, you're going to make better decisions for the way that you talk about yourself, the way that you think about yourself, and the way that you let other people treat you. That's a big one too. When you don't like yourself, you do allow other people to maybe kind of keep you in a box or not treat you as well as you want to be treated, or your level of respect that you expect for yourself is lower. Because if you don't like yourself, or if you don't have a lot of self-respect, self-love, that's not going to be reflected back to you. You're not going to expect it. And so when you aren't receiving it, as much as you may want it, because we all want to be respected, we all want to be loved, we all want to feel good, but if that expectation's not there, you're probably not going to find yourself manifesting it. So the better you expect things to go for you, and the better you see yourself, the better things will move. So if you were to wake up in the morning and think I'm awesome, I love my body, I love my personality, I love my laugh, I love my smile, whatever, you're going to find that these attributes that you're highlighting in the morning might be highlighted throughout the day. And if you kind of talk about them in a really positive way, then they're going to be reflected back in a positive way. If you're talking about them in a negative way, thinking about them in a negative way, like when you're doing your makeup in the morning, pointing out all your flaws, then that's going to be that may be highlighted for you too. You're planting these seeds early in the morning. The morning is the best time to really get on the manifesting track and the deliberate creation track. So thinking the best thoughts about yourself in the morning, especially when you get ready, because most people do look in a mirror. is really the best thing to do. So there's also kind of a stigma around self-love, I think, because we are such a social media-based society, that if you love yourself, you're vain, you're selfish, and you're a jerk. And I thought this way for a really long time. And it's not selfish to like yourself. It's definitely not selfish to love yourself. If anything, the first person that you should be saying I love you to in the day is you. Because you are the only person that you are ever going to live with for your entire life. You're stuck with yourself. So you might as well cultivate the relationship that you have with you. And I think a lot of people do forget about doing that a little bit. We're so like into whatever other people are doing, and we're all about comparing. But when you start to cultivate that relationship with yourself and talk yourself up and, highlight your strengths and like celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small they are, doing these small things is a really good way, journaling too, journaling is a big one, really good way to start to cultivate a very positive relationship for yourself. And if you are in a place where maybe you don't necessarily love yourself, and it's okay if you don't, you'll get there. If you're in a place where you don't like yourself, maybe you don't like looking in the mirror, maybe you're afraid of pictures like I was when I was younger, you can change that. You can get there. And it just takes kind of a decision to start to take more steps to like yourself. Because it's one thing to not like your boyfriend's sister or your mother's new husband or something, but those people aren't constants in your life. You're a constant in your life, so you definitely need to cultivate that, because you owe it to yourself. And when you do start to kind of get into that I love myself mentality, that energy from source, you're going to start seeing yourself and the world around you the way source does. And it changes things in a really big way, in a really awesome way. And like I was saying earlier, you want to expect the best for yourself. And self-love does that. So when you expect the best for yourself, you are going to not take less than what you deserve. A lot of people take less than what they deserve, settle for less than what they deserve, because they are not in the place where they really feel they can have what they want, or really feel that they are worthy of what they want. So when you start to kind of feel into where you are, who you are, how you look, these things, though maybe in some respects you're not super happy with them, when you start to accept where you are and you start to love where you are and who you are, these things that you don't necessarily like do start to shift and they do start to change. Like, I have really, really curly hair, as all of you guys can see, and both of my sisters have straight hair. Growing up, until I was about maybe 18 or 19 years old, I hated my hair. I just wanted it to be straight. And now I love it. It's something that is, it kind of makes me me. And it took me a really long time to hit the realization that that's a part of me, and it works and it looks good. And so that's just a little example of something that it shifted. And it wasn't until I accepted where I was, what it was, kind of, that I started getting more compliments on it, or I started to realize I could do different things with it or change it or whatever. And again, this is a very baseline kind of example, but I wanted to give you guys one just so you could get an idea of what I was talking about and how you can shift things. Also, a lot of people who are into law of attraction, or people in general, want more love in their life, right? Whether it's romantic love, whether it's platonic love, whether it's love from your family. And when you love yourself, you are going to find that people in your life love you more. You're going to become more of a magnet for love. When you are meeting people, you'll probably find that the ones that you end up wanting to talk to more are people who genuinely have a passion for their life and who have a passion for who they are and who can kind of stand in their authenticity. And that takes time, but it's also like, you'll also notice that the people who don't do that, the people who are kind of like negative and don't want to talk about themselves or don't want to share themselves because maybe they are not too happy with where they are, you don't want to gravitate towards those people because it's just not, like, self-love is an infectious energy, and it's awesome. And like I said, you become a stronger magnet for it, for love in general, when you love yourself. So, like, something to try right now as you're watching this, take a second to think the words, "I don't like myself," and feel what it does in your body. It's almost like a constricted, like, closing off kind of energy, and it feels like you like, for me, it feels like I'm putting a wall up around my heart. And when it comes, like, now, so you've done that, so now I want you to think, "I love myself," and see what that does to your body. Like, for me, it's very opening. Like, I literally put my arms out, like, I love myself. And try doing this "I love myself." Don't do the "I don't like myself." You did that once, you don't have to do it anymore. Just to give you an idea of, like, the energy behind those words and those frequencies. Like, they're very, very different. One's up here, one's down here. So every day, if you can, I want you guys to try to, well, you don't have to, but if you're working on the self-love thing, you can definitely try it. It does help. You want to look in the mirror, dead in your eyes, and say, "I love you." And this is a very powerful exercise because I would do this a lot when I was younger. And, like, there were times where, like, I would say it and I'd cry. And there are times when I say it and I'm like, "Yes, I do love you." And when you look yourself directly in the eyes and tell yourself, "I love you," from a true, like, heart-centered space, you really start to integrate that love energy. And you'll start to feel better. And just like that like couple of moments that you're feeling that energy, it does make a difference in your life. You will start to see things change, because when you like yourself, when you love yourself, when you dedicate yourself to yourself, you're going to find that you, like I said earlier, you're going to make better decisions. So you're going to do things that are more healthy for you, do things that are more productive for you, do things that maybe you wouldn't do if you were in a place where you, like, weren't confident, didn't like yourself. Self-love grows confidence, and it's just going to help you shift so many different things. Some other tips that I have are to, every day, if you want, you don't have to do any of these, but make a list of 10 things that you genuinely love about yourself. Like, for me, I love my smile, I love my body, I love my ability to, like, give to people. I love I love how responsible I am, or how responsible I think I am at this age, at 23. So make a list of these things and highlight your strengths, whether it's a physical strength, whether it's like a personality strength, whether it's like a mental strength, whatever it is. But when you do this, and like I said, like, the mornings are very important when it comes to manifesting, because it's going to set the stage for your day. If you can do this in the morning, then you are going to, like, skyrocket your vibration, and you're going to find so many amazing things coming to you. Like, you're going to be a magnet for all this amazing stuff because you're highlighting so many good things about yourself. And like I said, this is not selfish. This is smart to do. Be your own hype man, you know? Like, you deserve that. You totally can do that for yourself. Another thing to do is to use affirmations while you look in the mirror. Mirror work is a big deal. Like I was saying, when you want to say "I love you" to yourself in the mirror, saying affirmations about yourself while you get ready in the morning, or whenever you see yourself in a mirror, or not even when you see yourself in a mirror, just when you start to think about yourself, say affirmations that are positive. Like, "I offer a lot to people," or "I can give so much to, like, this certain person," or, like, one that I said a lot when I was 20 was "I'm the shit." That was my first affirmation of self-love that I wanted to give to myself. And this was back when I really didn't like myself at all. So I would start to say that because it just made me feel really good. It just made me feel like, yep, I'm the shit. I like that. And I just kind of let it build. And then I would find that people started to say it back. And that was the first time I really saw like the words that you say to yourself be reflected back to you. And it just proved it for me that like our realities are a mirror of what we give to ourselves, of what we say about ourselves. So you can use that affirmation if you want. You don't have to. But the more good things that you can say about yourself, the better. And if maybe you have something that you want to work on, and you can think of an affirmation that kind of helps you shift your thinking about it. Maybe you don't like a part of your physical body. Like maybe you don't like your hair, maybe you don't like your feet, but you can start to say different affirmations that kind of highlight the beauty in them or the functionality in them or something, and it will make you feel better about them. And then like they shift. It shifts. Your reality about it shifts. Your ideas about it shift. And the more you do this, sometimes it is a fake it till you make it kind of idea. But the more you do it, the more you'll start to feel it, the more it's going to become a habit. And the more these things that you say to yourself on a daily basis are going to start to seep into your reality and be reflected back. Another thing is don't pay attention to the people outside of you. Don't. It's so hard because, like I said, we're kind of conditioned as a society to look for that outside validation. We all do it. We all want it. Like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. We're all just putting ourselves out there, and which is great. Put yourself out there, but don't need the validation. Don't need the like. Don't need the comment to make you feel worthy. You're worthy if you don't get any likes. You're worthy if you don't get any comments. You're still beautiful. You're still awesome. You're still allowed to be here. And so you can't change what other people think about you. So don't even try, because everyone's riding their own wave, doing what they can with what they know. And we all have different perceptions and different beliefs about different things. So when you let go of needing other people to validate things for you, to tell you that what you're doing is worthy, to tell you that you're beautiful, when you let go of needing that and you just, thrive off of hearing it from yourself, things start to feel a lot better, things start to move a lot faster, and you feel a lot more confident and secure in where you are, which is always a good thing. Another thing to try is to do things that you really love, regardless if other people are doing them, or like if your friends are doing them, or if your family's doing them. If you want to take a pottery class because you love to throw on the wheel, but nobody else wants to, do it yourself. Because when you throw yourself into things that you love, and you like thrive on the things that you love, they expand, they build. You're going to meet other people who like to do these things too, and even if you don't, you're going to feel really, really good. So yeah, and then if you catch your inner critic starting to get nasty, or starting to be like, oh, you have like a breakout, or like you start to judge yourself and you start to get upset with yourself, see if there's actually anything wrong with what it's pointing out, because our inner critic sometimes will point out stupid stuff that really doesn't matter. Like, okay, I have a breakout on my face. Does it really matter? No. Does it take away from me as a person? No. Does it take away my ability to love people around me? No. And when you remind yourself of these things, these little like cosmetic things or things on your body or things that aren't permanent, when you take away that like bad, like, oh no, someone's gonna see it, like, okay, everything changes. So yeah, like I said, inner critic, you don't listen to them. See if it's coming up with like a belief or something that makes you feel unworthy, and see if you need to change that belief. Like maybe you have a belief that if you don't look your best, you're not going to be worthy of love. That's, I think, something that quite a few people might feel, and it's valid to feel that way, but it feels a lot better to remind yourself that you are in the best body that you could possibly be in. You are in the body that Source saw fit to give you, or God, or whoever you believe in saw fit to give you, and it's okay to be in the body that you're in. And it doesn't, like I said, take away your ability to do things. It doesn't take your ability to love the people around you. It doesn't take away your ability to kind of be where you are. So I guess I have maybe a couple of questions on here. I'm going to see if I have any that I can answer in the next couple of minutes. Hello, everybody. So excited to see you guys on here. Wasim says, wow, it seems like you loved yourself unlimitedly, because I really love how beautiful you are, and your wonderful talk. All my support, wish you the best. Oh, it wasn't a question, but thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. My takeaway is the words I say are reflected back to me. Yes, I did say that a lot, but it's true. The words you say, the things you feel, whether you're saying it or not, it's going to be reflected back to you. We live in a very reflective universe. What does it mean to love oneself? Do you mean giver of all things? Do you mean give all things? I'm not quite sure, Navi, what your question is. To love yourself means to enjoy who you are as a person, to be able to like stand in confidence in being authentic, to love where you are, regardless of kind of where you are or what you look like or what you're doing in any given moment, to just be able to stand and be like, I love myself, I love where I am, because a lot of people maybe don't like where they are, don't like what kind of their reality has like taken shape of. Hopefully that answers your question. And then, yeah, so I think that I have all the questions answered. I don't think there were any questions, so I was wrong about that. I apologize. But hopefully this video has inspired you, made you feel good, made you feel worthy, made you feel like you can love yourself, or help you get ideas to how else you can love yourself. If y'all have any other ideas for me for video topics you want me to cover, please let me know. Oh, Luis asks, how do I improve my self-talk? You do it just by kind of dedicating yourself to talking well about yourself. And you may catch yourself talking negatively about yourself, but you'll become more mindful when you start to do that. And it, like, for me, it's almost like alarms go off in my head. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be thinking that. Like, that, it doesn't feel good to feel that way. Granted, I've been doing this for a little while now, so I've gotten kind of into the habit of paying attention when I'm not thinking well about myself, not talking well about myself, and I flip it, because I'm like, well, that doesn't feel good. What feels better? And it can be hard to go from feeling like I'm really, really ugly to I'm the most beautiful person on the planet. So you may have to take some baby steps. You may have to go a little like more general than I'm really ugly to I'm really, really beautiful, but do what works for you. So I'm gonna go, but like I said, if you have any other video idea topics for me to cover, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I hope you all create amazing things. Let me know what you're manifesting, talk about what you're manifesting, talk about the positive things in your life, and I will hopefully connect with you guys again soon. Love and light.